What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Market Monday, the vid today, day after Easter. The market is still in shambles. We got a lot to get over. We're going to go through kind of the content upcoming this week, and then the main topic of this video is what players I'm selling, what players I'm holding. Taking a look at the MUT schedule, the expected content schedule this week from Madden. The big thing on the list, NFL Draft Pass, and it is basically confirmed for Friday. You can see, actually, I put on the Good Morning Madden schedule on the screen. So Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern, basically a special reveal stream, 4 p.m. West Coast time, 7 p.m. East Coast time. And a big thing when it comes down to the NFL Draft Pass program is whenever there really is a big standalone reveal stream, there tends to be a lot of content. I can't really see them having their own separate stream for that, and the content kind of be dead, dry, and just not a lot of content in general. We actually go back to Madden 21. We talked about this a little bit in my Combine investing video, but kind of just a quick recap. There was a 3-part program last year when it came to players not actually drafted. There was 2 NFL Draft Pass programs, and there was 1 First Rounders program. The First Rounders program was actually dropped, I think it was the day before or 2 days before the actual NFL Draft, and that was kind of the big chunk of the NFL Draft content, being $33.99 overalls, while the NFL Draft Pass content wasn't a whole lot. If you want more information on kind of like the NFL Draft promo from last year and what I expect this year, and some investments I am making for this weekend and the following weekend, investment guide, the link for that video will be in the description. One last thing before we hop into the hold or selling portion of this video, had to throw out my own little timeline schedule when it comes to content. Of course, we're here on Monday, Veterans Wednesday, NFL Draft promo part 1 on Friday, with the reveal coming Thursday afternoon. I expect an odds boost this weekend. We've gone actually with now a month without an odds boost, so I can highly predict. I think there's a great possibility that we do get an odds boost on Friday, as well as I think we get some 99 overall set Ultimate Legends this Saturday. And then now, of course, have the overall boost when it comes to champions. Will start to be 99 overalls. But that's kind of the schedule. You see NFL Draft the 28th. NFL Draft, I think we're going to get part 2 and part 3, probably the next following week, the week of the NFL Draft. But that's a content schedule. Let's hop now into the market portion of this video. Finally, on the main portion of this video, the title of this video, should you be holding your players? Should you be selling your players? Because if you're like me, you have an assortment of player items you've gone from eggs, and you're probably asking, hey, should I be selling these players? Should I be holding these players? And the main question, or the question, revolves around one thing. It's the trading market. Now, trading right now at about 2.25, down from about 3.1, of course, prior to Easter Sunday. We kind of expect trading to have a slow rise and really a big kind of, not a spike, but you know, a sway up, basically a sway up on Friday, on Saturday, on Sunday, when hopefully we get NFL Draft Pass rerolls with LTDs in those rerolls, giving a demand for trading. So when it comes down to if you should be selling a player, if you should be holding a player, the question you should be asking yourself is this player above trading value? Now, for this trading spreadsheet up on the screen, you want to be selling players realistically that are above probably 2.5. You got to take tax into account too, because when trading goes up, and I'll give an example. Let's say you have 2 players, right? They're 97 overalls. One goes for 120K, which is trading discard right now at about 2.25, and the other player goes for about 200,000 coins. Well, when trading rises on Friday, or whenever trading rises because the demand for trading goes up, that 120K player is going to rise with trading as he's trading discards. So if trading rises to 2.5, okay, he's going to go up to what, like 150, 165K. But that player that's going for 200K, he is not being bought for training. He is bought because he's a unique player card. People are actually buying from for his team or for a set. And when the trading market goes up, that's not going to affect his price because he's not affected by the trading market going up. So whenever you're looking at any player, and I'm not saying memorize the prices of each overall for each kind of trading value, but you're kind of understand, you probably need to know like 93, 94, all the way up to 97. And you'll know when you're listing players, you want to be selling players for majority of the time that are way above the trading value, because when trading goes up, your trading discard players will rise with that price. You should be selling those right now. To give some examples of this, I'm kind of scroll through. I'm sorting by overall to you guys can see the prices I'm selling like each type of overall for. You can see 98 overalls, which are going for about, let's say 180 to 200,000 on the market. You'll see a majority of my 98 overall sales are 250 plus. 97s we talked about 120K. Again, that's after tax. So you need to be selling for about 133 and above, but I'm going for more like 160 and 175K and above. I'm trying to sell as many players as I can that are way above the training, because they're not bought for training like we talked about. They're bought for their unique player, and as cards come out throughout the next couple days, weeks, and months, those players are going to be replaced within the meta, giving them less demand. For example, I think a perfect example of that would be like Odell Beckham Jr. and Jamar Chase. They're going for 300,000 coins. they're going for 300,000 coins because they still have a good spot in the Met. They're still a pretty solid card, but we get 599 overall receivers the next week and a half from the NFL draft content. Those receivers are going to be replaced in Odell Beckham Jr., Jamar Chase. Yeah, they're Redux, yeah, they're 97 overall, but they're only being bought because they are very popular and they're still kind of useful in the game. But you can notice throughout the overalls, I kind of passed through it, but I mean, I'm selling like 95 overalls, probably above 75k, 96s above 120, 125 even, 93s like I'd say probably 40ish k, 94s above like 65. I'm trying to get as many coins as I can for each card. I'm stretching my binder out from all the eggs I did open, but the main thing, the main question you should be asking yourself when you're going to sell each card is, are they above training? If they are in a significant amount above training, I think you're fine to sell. And here I'm going to kind of run through what I would do. This is what I do pretty much, I'd say probably like every hour, 2 hours. I'm not really, the main thing I'm going to be on the game for the next 2 to 3 days is just simply selling off my players, selling off my binder. And this is what I pretty much do. You just kind of go scroll through. Now, Reduxes are players that are significantly above training value, but 97 overall, 150, that's not the best because after tax, that's 135. I'm really only getting 15 to 12k above training. Joe Burrow, though, he's 190k. He's a quarterback. Pretty much every time we get quarterbacks at least once a week, it seems like, at 97 overall plus. So, hey, Joe Burrow, I'm fine with selling off for 190. That's probably what, around the 3 per for a 97 overall. I'm cool with that, but I kind of just go scroll through, and it doesn't really matter the type of card. Reduxes, flashback, veterans. Just scroll through. Brian Dawkins is another example. Brian Dawkins also a big thing to note when it comes to selling off, I'd say, different types of players. Make sure the players that revolve around the Sugar Rush guys, so Kyle Pitts, Calvin Johnson, Ty Law, Brian Dawkins, the players that got Sugar Rush champions, you want to sell off their baby pieces probably before the NFL draft, because as soon as the hype dies for the 98 Kyle Pitts, 98 Ty Law, their pieces and their power up are just not going to be bought as much because people are not going to be picking those players up. If anything, they're going to be selling them off, and their baby pieces are going to start to get flooded onto the market this weekend. So you have guys like Bono's Ty Law. I even say like Bono's Barry, Bono's Calvin, Brian Dawkins Legend. I'd say even Reggie Bush, Kyle Pitts Redux. You want to sell those guys off, I'd say, before Thursday and before Friday. When it comes to the overalls, I'd say 86 to about 90 because I have a lot of them from my small and my medium eggs. And most of these cards, 86 to 88 overall, even 90 overalls, especially the program ones, I'd say like GG2 guys, Super Bowl guys, playoff guys. These cards are essentially barely going above training. It's not worth it to say list 20 players and get an extra 1,000 coins above training rather than discarding them. So I don't exactly know what to do with them. You guys can let me down in the comments below. I have looked in some Team Builder 2, Team Builder 3 sets, as well as some Team Diamonds. I think this is where I'm going to put a majority of those players into these sets because Team Builder 3s are semi-profitable. We went over on stream last night. You were able to complete the set for about 55k. And Team Builder 3s were going for like the low 70s. So I might throw some 86s, 88s. The only issue is these sets require odd numbers as the lowest overall. So 91s, 89s, and 87s. And I don't really want to be throwing 88s, 90s, and 92s into these sets. So that's one thing. Maybe I'll throw more into Team Diamond sets since they require 86 to 88 overall players for that specific team. So I might throw these players into Team Diamond sets. You guys let me down in the comments what you guys are doing with your 86s, your 88s, your 90s, because I have a ton of them and I don't know exactly what I want to do with them. The one thing though is with the 86, or not the 86, yes, the 86 overalls and the 88 overalls, or not the 86, the 87s and 88 overalls you have in your binder. There is one use potentially that we could get this weekend if we get 99 overall Ultimate Legend sets, which I do think is probably a 50-50. It's either going to be one more week of 98 Ultimate Legend sets or the new kind of turnover of overalls where we get 99 overall set Ultimate Legends. And if that was the case, I can probably expect there in the 89 overall Fantasy Pack exchange set, you can probably expect at least one 87, 88 involved within the set somehow, so that it would give more of an added value to 87 and 88 overall. So if you want to hold those until, let's say, Friday, to where you see the sets or you see the Ultimate Legends released on Friday, see their overalls, you can hold some 87s, some 88s in hopes that we are getting 99 overall Ultimate Legend sets. Finally, to wrap up this video, we're going to be kind of walking through, I'd say, the LTDs, the Berries, the Reggie Whites, the Vernon Davis, what's my kind of timeline when it comes to their sell-off prices, as well as actually a certain type of card you should be wanting to sell off at a certain time. When it comes to Barry Sanders, Reggie White, and Vernon Davis, I'm going to let you guys know right now, they're not going to move that much during the middle of the week. LTDs, and these basically are LTDs. Once they're out of eggs, there's basically no more being put into the game unless we just randomly get a set for them. But LTDs typically during the middle of the week do not move that much because people do not buy their teams during the middle of the week. So you're not going to see any movement from Reggie White, from Barry Sanders, from Vernon Davis, from where they're at right now, probably until Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. So if you're planning and you're kind of like hoping, hey, I can wait 1 or 2 more days and Reggie White's going to go to 350, Barry and Vernon Davis are going to go to 400k, That's not going to happen. If you're going to want to get the extra coins from Barry, from Reggie White, from Vernon Davis, you have to be in it for the long haul. You probably are looking at a week and a half to a 2-week wait to kind of return the maximum value for these players. So if you're not really wanting to hold these players for 2 weeks, you wanted to sell off maybe like in a few days, you honestly can go ahead and sell these guys off right now. Barry Sanders at about like 350 isn't terrible. Vernon Davis probably like 325, and Reggie White try to get like 290, 300K. But if you're not in these cards for the long haul, I'm going to tell you right now, these cards are not going to move until this weekend, and it might even take another week and a half, 2 weeks to really see some movement on these cards. Looking at though the Chris Westry and the Robert Hunt and the Charles Woodson, these cards are essentially training value. I do think all 94 overall, or 94 overall, I kind of gives a hint of what I've been buying when it comes to training. I'll let you guys figure that out. But when it comes to Sugar Rush players, I do think we'll have a program turnover on Friday, so Candy will be converted into training, and the Sugar Rush players will not be Quicksilver for Candy anymore, but training. So you can pick up some 94s, 96 Chris Westrys and Robert Hunts. They're basically training value, so I'm holding them until we get more of a training demand, hopefully a training rise. When I talked about, though, a type of program you should be selling off, Ultimate Legends, because I do think when we get 99 overall Ultimate Legends, and that could possibly be this Saturday, the overall Ultimate Legend market is going to crash. Not crash again, but it's going to be flooded at a pretty significant amount, like we've seen the last 2 Saturdays. Also, people are probably holding their Ultimate Legend eggs as well as their Solo Challenge fantasy packs for whenever we get 99 overall Ultimate Legends. So I would go ahead and try to sell off most of your Ultimate Legends by Saturday. I think that's kind of a key, just because guys like Randy Moss, who are going for 300K right now, if we get a 99 overall Ultimate Legend, they'll probably be pretty good players. You can expect a lot more packs to be open on Saturday than kind of the past 2 weeks. But that's going to be all for Market Monday today. Now, if you're curious of when I'm going to be uploading my 80 million egg opening video, I'm processing it, I'm cutting it up, I'm editing it. I don't think I'm going to go with a live reaction type of video. I'm actually going to be going some post commentary, some analysis on whether the eggs are worth it, and kind of how I'm looking at the eggs when it comes to if they were W's or L's, because I want to make kind of more of my style of video. I'm not the best pack opening, I'm pretty dry when it comes to opening packs. We did it on stream, and I'm just not like going crazy over pretty much any type of pull. So I think the video would not have turned out great. I'm cutting it up. It's either going to be out on Tuesday or Wednesday, but you're one of those days you're going to get the video. That's probably going to be the only video over the next 2 days, because we do have content this weekend. So you'll have videos Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But when it comes to the egg video, if you're curious about that, probably going to be uploaded either Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm expecting Wednesday, because it's taking a long time for me to kind of cut up the pack opening highlights, as well as get the information, the data from each of the packs. But if you have any questions on what like specific players to sell or hold, just remember, ask yourself this first: do they go for way above training? If the answer is yes to that, you can go ahead and sell. But again, if you have any questions, let me know. And like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new. Until next time, peace.